We can make electricity cheaper for everyone. Not someday, today. Here's how. Europe can reduce its dependency on expensive fossil fuels by making the power system more flexible and using smart technology to match energy use with the cheapest and cleanest times. Debates on energy predominantly focus on price, constantly arguing about how to produce cheaper electricity. But there's another powerful lever: when we consume it and how we store it. Today's electricity markets already show the opportunity. At certain times, like cold winter evenings, prices spike because demand is high and expensive power plants are needed. At other times, when wind and solar generators are strong, prices fall dramatically. Sometimes they even turn negative. Negative prices usually mean we have more renewable electricity than the system can absorb at the moment. Clean energy is available, but it's not being fully used or stored. To understand why this happens, we need to look at how electricity prices are set. Power plants enter the market in order of their marginal cost, the cost of producing one additional unit of electricity. This is called the merit order. Wind and solar have almost zero marginal cost. They enter first when available. After accounting for renewables, the rest of the electricity is generated based on short-run marginal cost. Essentially, the cheapest options go first. Nuclear power usually comes in early thanks to its low operating costs. Coal and gas depend on fuel prices, carbon costs, and the unique technical limits of each plant. Every 15 minutes, the level of demand determines how far we move along this curve. The last unit needed to meet demand sets the wholesale market clearing price for that bidding zone and market interval. When demand is high and renewable output is low, we cross into the fossil red zone, often gas-fired plants, which frequently set the wholesale energy price. In countries like Greece, Belgium, and the Netherlands, gas determines the price almost all the time, ranging from 80% to 90% of hours, for example in stress times, such as during the post-COVID recovery. This increases emissions and makes energy prices more exposed to swings in global fossil fuel markets. When renewable output is high and demand is low, the system does not need the more expensive plants, so prices fall sharply. If supply still exceeds demand and available flexibility, prices can even turn negative. Negative electricity prices shouldn't normally exist in an ideal power market. They happen when supply temporarily exceeds demand and the system cannot absorb the surplus easily. In this scenario, the price falls below zero to signal that generation could decrease or consumption could increase. When low-carbon energy generation closely matches demand, the system runs at its cheapest. There's little need for fossil fuel plants, so prices remain stable and less exposed to global fuel market swings. This is the sweet spot: low emissions, lower costs, and a more resilient energy system. Electricity demand doesn't have to be unflexible. It can respond to price signals. When users shift consumption away from peak hours, the demand curve moves. This reshapes the merit order. The system relies on cheaper generation and the price is set by a lower cost plant. In day-ahead markets, this reduces peaks and keeps expensive plants out. In intraday markets, it may react almost in real time, avoiding price spikes and absorbing excess renewable energy. Flexible consumption means adjusting in a time-dependent way heating in buildings or industrial processes, or the moment when electric vehicles or batteries are charged and discharged, when electricity is cheapest and cleanest. This means less overall energy costs, fewer extreme price spikes, fewer deep negative price dips, and much less volatility, and better use of renewable energy that is already in the system today. And flexibility does even more. It also helps integrate more wind and solar by reducing congestion and curtailment. allowing the system to deliver more low-cost, clean electricity. But Europe is not one uniform market. Across much of Europe, consumers and businesses still face barriers to price-responsive flexibility. Limited access to dynamic pricing, constraints on aggregators, and outdated market rules prevent flexible demand from responding when the system needs it most. Where flexible demand is possible, it can reduce the annual electricity bill by an average of 25%. But wholesale markets are only part of the story. Other markets, like balancing and local flexibility markets, reflect real-time and local system needs. There too, flexible demand should be able to participate, helping balance the grid, reduce costs, and support reliability. Because the future energy system isn't just powered by generation, it's powered by flexibility on both sides. Learn more at smartn.eu.